So listening with full attention is the first thing. Sometimes when children experience emotions, they haven't learned yet how to manage them, or they don't know yet what to do with them. And because of that, it's extremely difficult for them to just deal with them and know what to do with them. So if you're experiencing, let's say, anger for the first time and you don't know exactly what to do with them, and they become dysregulated, they become that's the terrible twos, right? They throw tantrums because they don't know how to deal with that. And I think that's where parents come in, and that's where parents are pretty much able to just help their children just regulate themselves. And every child is very different. It depends on your child. You may know at that exact moment what they need, but if you don't, you can try out different things. And I'm going to share a few things with you today. You can try out a few things so that you can see what works for your child. So I would say start out first by just calming them down, right? If the emotion is anger, or if it is sadness, or whatever core emotion that they are feeling, disappointment, it could be a range of things. Whatever they are feeling at that moment, sometimes just slowing down and just without saying a word, letting them know that you're there. That can look like a hug. That can look like mommy loves you or daddy loves you. That can look differently depending on what the child responds to. And you can decide then like what it is that you're gonna do to help the child. If it's anger, then calm down. If it's sadness, then find some comfort and reassurance so that everything else that you're gonna do after that can be received by the child. So after you've reassured them through a hug, by holding them, by letting them know that you're there, then you can invite them to begin to process, right? Depending on how old your child is. And I would say those that speak and those that are able to express, at least to a certain extent, what it is that they are feeling, you can begin by asking them, okay, like what it is that you're feeling, and just listen. Right? The first step is to just listen. And I think that most people, they listen to respond, or they listen so that they can figure out what they're going to say, to reassure the person, especially with a child, to reassure the child. Your job is just to listen and to just be with your child in this moment. And that's a skill that's absolutely very difficult to master, because as a mom myself, I know that it's hard. Like, you want to jump in, you want to help, you want them to feel better. But at that moment, sometimes the child just needs you to just listen to what it is that they have to say. And that applies to also older children as well. Like listening, okay, what is going on? What is it that you would like to talk about? How is it that you want to express this to me? And just being there and making room. And there's a lot of power in just being there. With the younger children, and even with older ones, you can acknowledge their feelings by using simple words like, I see, or wow, like something simple that's not suggesting any solutions. And even as adults, right, when we're having a feelings conversation, like I tend to ask people to just name what type of conversation you want to have. If you're having a feelings conversation and the person jumps in with solution, then it's a complete turn off. It's the same thing with children. They are also human. So making sure that when you are talking to them, that you are able to just acknowledge what it is that they're feeling without offering a solution. And kids are very, very resourceful. They are able to figure out their own solutions if we give them a chance to develop that part of themselves. So saying something like, wow, that must have been hard. Something as simple as that will give them room to be able to just focus on what it is that they're saying, but to feel like, okay, I'm able to get this out without interruption, and then we can talk about it and figure out what it is. The next thing that I'm going to say after you acknowledge their feelings is another option is to just give their feelings a name. Kids don't have an idea well, younger kids, they have no idea what the emotion is. So they may be feeling something, and as I said in the beginning, as they're young, they have no idea what it is that they're feeling, and they're looking to us to teach them those things. And when kids are experiencing strong emotions, that is a perfect opportunity for parents to just jump in and give them or allow them to be able to name those feelings. So if my daughter, for example, was experiencing anger, and I see the anger, I see her stomping, I see her saying I see like the little face, the frown come to her face, and I see all the signs of anger, then I would step back and look, okay, she's mad over, let's say she can't watch TV or something like that, or whatever she's mad about. I would say something like, wow, if I couldn't watch TV right now and I really wanted to, that would make me mad. So that would make me angry. Is this what you're feeling? So that is kind of like just giving them a name, and allowing them to recognize, oh, what I'm feeling right now is anger. And the next time that she's feeling that way, maybe she'll come to me and say, hey, mommy, I'm feeling angry. Can you help me with this? Which is something that I've developed with my own kids. Like, I'm feeling this way. Can you please help me calm down? And at this point that I've trained them enough that they're able to come to me and ask me for help to just regulate the strong emotions that they are feeling at the moment. So you can talk to your kids and talk and just figure out a plan. When you're feeling angry, what do you need from me? If they're like on the if they're older and are able to understand those words, and those that are not, this is a technique that I actually tried with my daughter not too long ago. She was feeling angry, and I've been reading this book, How to Talk. So kids will listen and listen, so they will talk. Yeah, that one. And one of the suggestions was to just use paper and just for kids that cannot communicate, there is no way that they can tell you, hey, I'm feeling angry, or have a whole conversation with you about that. So what I did was I gave her a piece of paper and a pencil, and I said, hey, draw on this piece of paper how you feeling. Because she wasn't able at that moment to communicate through words because the emotions were so strong. And she began drawing, like trying to draw something that made sense. So what I did was I grabbed the pencil and I just began to is this how you feeling? And I just began to draw on the piece of paper. And I think when I did that, I gave her permission to pretty much just express her feelings. And this is what she drew. I don't know if you can see. This is what she drew. And she just let out the anger, and then she turned it to the other side and let out the anger. And then afterwards we were able to have a conversation about it, and following that she just was calm enough to draw a picture of her family, and the picture shows everybody smiling, which gave me an indication of, okay, this is what she's feeling right now. She's feeling a little bit better. She's feeling like smiling. She drew herself smiling in this picture. So that tells me, oh, yeah, she's feeling better. And afterwards, we were able to have a conversation about it after we got her to calm down from the anger. So this is a tool that you can use. Just get creative with the kids that can't talk. Just get creative with them and try to figure out different ways or different things that you can use to get them to just express their feelings. Sometimes you can have them just do some jumping jacks, just get their bodies moving, because anger is energy that gets released from their bodies, and then calming them down and slowing them down and helping them with the emotions. Children have no idea, and if there's one thing that I want to stress, they don't know how to deal with their emotions. So they shouldn't be expected to know exactly what to do. So telling them to calm down is not going to do anything, but they need you to be actively there with them, helping them pretty much just manage this emotion. Another way that you can deal with this is just using fantasy. For example, if your child is crying because she can't get ice cream at 9 p.m. at night, what you can do is just say something that validates that feeling, but that doesn't really just break your own rules and give them what they want. So, for example, if they're crying and they want ice cream at let's say 8 p.m. It's their bedtime and they want ice cream at that time, and they begin to throw a tantrum. Something that you can say that can validate their feeling, which would be along the lines of the fantasy, is, I wish I had a magic wand and I could wind time, like bring time back and give you that so that it could be 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock and we could be at the park and walking around, and I could give you that ice cream and you could eat it, and it would be great. That way, that engages the part of their brain that is kind of like just imaginative, and allows them to be able to just be in that moment with the ice cream, even though they didn't get it at the moment, and that usually helps them calm down. So I do hope that this was helpful, and if you do try out any of those tips, just let me know in the comments. And just to recap really quickly, listen with full attention, just be with them to help them physically calm down through either a hug or any other ways that you usually help your kids calm down, like physical touch or saying a word. My kids, we use the word banana sometimes when they're feeling really strong feelings and don't know what to do. We use banana. When they say that, I know that they're asking me for help and that I can give them a hug or something like that to help them feel better, and give their feelings a name. Are you feeling angry? If this happened to me, I would feel the same way. Are you feeling angry right now? Or give them their wish through a fantasy, which is basically just wishing that you could give them that thing that they wanted. Not saying no. I said no, you can't have it, which is what a lot of us, and sometimes me, do. But no, you can't have this. No, you can't do this. Scratching that out and really beginning to become very imaginative in the way that we just deal with the requests that they have. Remember, your kid is a full human being. They have emotions, and they deserve to be acknowledged. Their feelings are important, and if you don't kind of like just go away with anything that I've said, just remember, they need you. They need your help as a parent to show them how to validate their feelings. So I will be back here next week with the next video. I will be talking about how us parents, we can regulate our own emotions so that we can be able to help our kids regulate their own. All right.